Hello, how are you guys today? Welcome. Today we have a special guest, Mike Shackleford from The Wizard of Oz. Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Heather. Pleasure's mine. Hi, Heather's audience.
It's always such a pleasure and always just like a treat when we can have you on and everything. And I don't know, just thank you.
The pleasure is all mine. I always enjoy it.
Yes, awesome. So today is a special AMA, Ask Us Anything. So if you have any questions, go ahead, put them in the chat. Let us know. I have a question for you. So while we're waiting for people to get in here, I just heard that you recently came back from New York. Is that true?
That is true.
What was that like?
So this was actually my second trip to New York this year. Before that, you would have to go all the way back to the 1990s, but it was just coincidental. I had two reasons to go this year. And I've been there a lot of times, so I don't want to give you my whole spiel about what to do in New York, but I'll just tell you a few tips about stuff I did this trip that I liked.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So one thing is called the Vessel, and it's also known by its unofficial name, the Stairway to Nowhere.
Okay.
And what it is it looks like an enormous basket, and it's 16 stories high, and it's all outdoors, and it's just staircases.
So it's like a treehouse or something?
It's like I said, it's more like a basket. Like imagine a 16
story. A 16-story basket?
Yes, and a basket that's round on top and kind of narrow on the bottom.
Oh, weird.
And there's 16 levels, and there's all these stairs from one level to another, and it's just nothing but stairs. But it's really beautiful. It's all this polished, I guess, bronze, and there's glass. There's glass everywhere. So, I mean, I heard it was enormously expensive, but it's so cool.
Is it like you're walking in one of those paintings where the stairs are going everywhere?
Oh, by Escher?
Yes.
It does kind of look. It does have that look to it, like lots of stairs and flat parts, but I can't say that there's anything like optical illusions or anything to it. It's just there for the sake of art. It's a very kind of like a Burning Man kind of thing.
That's cool.
Like you can't ask, why did someone do this? You either get it or you don't. So.
Did you take pictures? Are we going to see pictures of this?
I was there at night, and so the pictures didn't come out very well.
Okay.
But yeah, it would have been much better in the day. But it was really cloudy and kind of rainy when I was there, so that would have not helped either. But there's tons of pictures of it online. The Wikipedia page for it has a beautiful picture.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, highly recommended. It's near Penn Station. If you're anywhere around 30th to 35th Street on the west side.
Is that anywhere near Central Park?
No, so Central Park starts at around 50th Street, right? So it's going to be 15 blocks south of Central Park, the southernmost part of Central Park.
Okay.
But it's near a lot of, big attractions. It's in kind of a long walking distance from Times Square, Penn Station, the Chelsea neighborhood. Yeah.
When you went to New York, did you drive or did you take the subway?
That's a good question, because this was the first time in New York I did not stay in Manhattan. I had to stay for the business reason I went. I stayed near the airport, and I took the subway. And it was one kind of thing that was kind of a pain is there's a whole bunch of airport hotels by JFK Airport, but if you and they do have a shuttle bus, but the shuttle bus drops you at basically a subway station, but if you get on it at the hotel, you have to do this whole loop around JFK, and there are, I think, 7 or 8 terminals in JFK, so it takes forever to get to the train station. So, and it's only an $8 Uber ride. So that's how I got there.
Okay.
And then from there, it's called the Airport Express or something, and from there you can connect to either the Jamaica station or the Howard Beach station, and that will take you either on the A line or the E line, and both of those go straight into Manhattan.
Okay.
So I like to use public transportation wherever I can.
That sounds good.
Yep.
Is that only in New York, or is that wherever you go?
Everywhere I go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think experiencing a new city is part of it is getting the feel of their public transportation, especially if it's a subway.
What is your opinion of subways that you've gone on compared to, say, what Las Vegas does and how we could be better?
Oh, we are the worst.
We are pretty bad.
We are so bad.
Yeah.
Like, if I were an urban planner, this would be like the last way I would do a city. Just all sprawled out, where it takes forever to get from one place to another, and there's awful traffic everywhere.
We could be like LA, though, so it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, I consider LA to be have a similar problem.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just a bigger Las Vegas.
Every time I drive in LA, I feel like I'm going to get in a car accident. Or I at least see a car accident about to happen.
Yeah, I've been in so many close calls there.
Yeah.
I mean, now there are some cool parts of LA where you wouldn't like need a car, like Santa Monica and Westwood. Where everything is like in close reach, but most places it's just like here, it's so sprawled out that it's just necessary to have a car.
Yeah.
So, but if I were an urban planner, how would I do it? Like, I love Hong Kong, just a very high city, very vertical, with a great public transportation system. Like Manhattan is another great example. Very high and great transportation, and it's probably terrible if you're a car owner, but I don't care. To be honest, I don't like cars. I'm more
You don't like cars?
No, I'm a public transportation and bicycle person.
So if you had a choice, then you would ride your bike everywhere.
Yes. I mean, I think my dream country would be the Netherlands, because there is a whole network of bike trails, not just in Amsterdam, but the whole country.
If you were riding your bike to get, I don't know, wherever, a job, a meeting, anywhere, would you prefer a two-wheeled bicycle or a one-wheeled bicycle?
In other words, a unicycle.
Well, I mean, if you want to say it like that, sure. Call it the right way,
To be honest, for getting to work, I would probably just use a bicycle because it's faster, and it's not such a big deal to like get on and off. Like when I ride my unicycle, I like to get to like a particular bike path here, and so I can just ride a long distance without seeing a single car or having to stop.
Well,
But once I was coming close to taking a job in the Silicon Valley area, and yeah, I would have definitely rode my bike there because they have a pretty good network of bike paths. But yeah, here it's terrible. But I rode my bike here sometimes.
Yeah, you have. Totally. So let us get to the comments. Now, this is an AMA for you guys, so if you have any questions for Shackleford or myself, please let us know in the comments, or if you just want to say hi, go ahead and feel free to say hi to us.
Okay, and if we don't have any questions or comments, I have some other New York tips.
Now, we have a couple people saying hi to us. So Evan said hi to both you and me.
Hi, Evan.
Hey, Evan. And Andrew and Rocky did as well. Hey, you guys.
Hi, Andrew and Rocky.
Now, Rocky agrees with you on the bicycling. He likes to bicycle as well, and he says he wants more cargo space on his bicycle. Do you have that problem?
Yeah,
Do you have
that's
like a basket?
Yeah, that's one downside to bicycles is no, my bicycle does not have a basket, but I will wear a backpack if I need to carry around large objects, and I have, various sizes of backpacks. I must own like 10 backpacks.
Do you ever use one of your backpacks that you use for mountain climbing that you're going to do like a 3-day journey on?
Yeah, one time I have like an enormous green one, and I think I needed to get a whole bunch of groceries, and so I used that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your back must have been hurting then.
Yeah, but it does hurt because you kind of have to lean over for the handlebars, and so. But that's what I'll do. If I really needed to lug around stuff a lot, I would probably get a trailer.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So again, just so you guys know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I have another question for you while we're waiting for people to get in here. A little bird told me something about El Cortez. What's going on with that?
Okay, so you remember my friend Patty who did the escape room with us?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was saying that she went to the El Cortez and was playing, I guess, video poker, and she put in $100 bill and played a little bit and then left the machine, but left the credits in the machine.
Ooh.
And then like 10 minutes later, she realized it. And so she went to security and she said, I was playing that machine and like 10 minutes ago, and I know I left like $90 in credits on it, and now they're not there. Okay, so here's what security did. They called surveillance.
No way.
And surveillance
No way.
backtracked the camera and saw who cashed that money out.
I can't believe they did that.
I'll give my comments after the story, but they did that, and the person who stole the money was actually still in the casino, probably hoping to steal other credits. So security approached the guy and said, "We know you took the credits from the blah 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 machine," and he said, "No, I didn't do it." And he said, "We saw you on surveillance tape. Don't even try to deny it." And then he made a run for the door. And but surveillance chased him, and I don't know all the details, but security detained him before he could get to the door. And then they told him, these are your choices. You can give the money back and we'll 86 you, or you don't give the money back and we're calling the cops. Huh. So he chose to give the money back and just be 86.
Wow.
But okay, my point is kudos for the El Cortez. They went way beyond the Call of Duty in this situation. I mean, I think a lot of casinos would have just said, finders keepers, that's your fault.
Exactly.
But El Cortez, like I said, they had everyone in security and surveillance on this, looking for the guy, and I think they handled it perfectly.
I agree with you and I disagree with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I agree with you because that's awesome that your friend was able to get your money back, because it was someone you knew personally that this happened to, so I'm really glad that they got their money back. On the other hand, it is one of those things where it's finders keepers. Like, I'm really surprised that they actually took the time and effort to check surveillance. One, you don't check for surveillance unless, like, there's a big, there's a purpose for it. Like, nobody checks surveillance unless there's a reason. And that's one of those things where they don't check surveillance for everything. Let me just put it that way. And for them to do that, and then to actually find the guy, track him down, ask him for the money back, and all of that, holy freaking cow, I've never heard of any casino doing that. I agree with you, finders keepers. It's actually a well-known thing here in Las Vegas, where people would go around to slot machines, see if there's any money left in them, and if there is, they cash out, they take it, and they walk away. Not technically stealing, because they did leave it in the machine. But I'm really surprised that they would go to that amount of effort to find the guy.
Well, I have to vehemently disagree.
Okay.
When I said finders keepers, I was more so like putting myself in the shoes of what I would call the thief.
But he's not really a thief.
Yes, he is. That money did not belong to him.
It was left in the machine.
That doesn't matter. Like, if you see a $100 bill on the casino floor, you can't just take it.
Technically, you can.
No, I think that money technically belongs to the casino.
It only matters if you are a person who works there. And the reason why I know is because this happened to me. This was at the Hard Rock. I was working there. I saw a chocolate $5,000 chip on the floor. I was stupid and I picked it up. And as soon as I picked it up, my floorman, she said, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Now you have to turn it in. You saw it, you picked it up. Now you have no choice as an employee. You have to turn that in." But if I was off the clock, if I was a player, if I was a patron, and that happened to me, I would have been able to keep it. Yes, I found the chip on the floor. No, it's not mine. I want to cash it in. Technically, they should allow that.
I wouldn't allow it for my casino. I think that if you're taking property that obviously was accidentally abandoned by somebody else, then that's stealing.
If it's accidentally abandoned, isn't that the same thing as it being trash?
No, like if you leave money in it, if you leave credits on a machine, that's clearly like accidental, and there's a good chance the person is going to come back for them.
Does it matter how many credits we're talking about? Because your friend, it was about $100.
Yeah.
But when this normally happens and people go in the casino and do this, they don't find $100. They find $2 here, $1 here, maybe $5 here.
Yeah.
So is it considered theft because it's $100, or is it not considered theft when they do it and it's like $1 or $2 or that type of thing?
I would consider it theft even if it were a penny.
But if it was a penny, the casino wouldn't call security or surveillance.
That's true.
And do all that stuff.
Right. But if I ran a casino, I would not like these people that troll around casinos just looking for abandoned credits.
But they do that. It's Las Vegas. There's a ton of people
yeah,
that
I know
do
there
that.
are a ton of people who do that kind of thing. But what I would do is I would deliberately put credits on machines, leave them, and watch that machine like a hawk for someone to take it, and then once they do, 86 them.
Isn't that entrapment? You're entrapping someone.
I don't care. I'm not prosecuting them, but I wouldn't want them in my casino. I would, you could tell how I feel. I think it's stealing. So, but should we see what the audience says? Who do you agree with?
That's a good idea.
Yes, if you find credits in a machine that was left by somebody else,
do you take it?
Can you take it?
Right.
Morally.
Is it stealing? So if you take it, is it stealing, or would you leave it on there because that's not your money?
And yes. Oh, and by the way, I have another story, but let's see what the audience says so far.
So let's check out the comments. So Evan says, have you ever been able to study and compare 6 to 5 blackjack to 3 to 2 table profits and hold percentages? How much more does a casino make when a casino changes it to 6 to 5? So let's say for an average 3 to 2 blackjack game, one table would probably bring in profit maybe about $30,000 a month for a 3 to 2 game. How much more would a 6 to 5 game?
You might know better than me because I mainly see things from the player's perspective.
Not so much.
But I'm sure that on the main casino floor, a 6 to 5 table would make more money. I mean, otherwise, why would they be making the switch? And furthermore, 3 to 2 games on the main casino floor are not very profitable because the house edge is quite thin.
Well, okay, so which game do you think is the most profitable for casinos?
When I worked, okay, let me not give any qualifiers, but I think that strangely, Pie-Gow Poker is pretty profitable. Roulette.
Can I ask a devil's advocate question?
Sure.
If that was the case, then why are there so many more blackjack tables on the floor than there are roulette and Pie-Gow tables?
That's a good question because people like blackjack, and if they don't have enough blackjack, they're going to get a lot of hotel guests complaining, like, I want to play blackjack, the tables are always full, and they're going to leave unhappy. And casinos now, they make more money from the hotel and the restaurants and the shows than they do from the gambling. So the casinos are more and more looked at as kind of like an amenity to the hotel.
They really make more money on the shows? I thought they didn't.
No, all that stuff combined.
Oh, all of it combined.
Yeah, all non-gaming combined makes more money than gaming here in Las Vegas.
But that's not how it used to be. In the 90s, gaming was more than that, right?
Right, yeah, and it switched over, I think, somewhere in the 2000s.
Okay. Now, in that case, why are casinos still focused on slot machine and table games and less focused on providing an experience to their players or their guests?
Well, I would like to think a lot of casinos do want to create an experience, and so the person will leave with stories and preferably come back.
So, for example, with Mandalay Bay, you know how they have that Be Happy exhibit where it's like an Instagram, you go in, you take Instagram pictures, that type of a thing. I would see that as being a really good example of attracting the millennials, the younger generation, by offering experiences that they're looking for.
Yeah.
But that's the only casino that's really doing it. If you look at all the other casinos, their sort of attractions are more geared towards basically my generation and the baby boomers. Well, I shouldn't say my generation. I am technically a millennial. The generation before me and then the baby boomers.
Yeah.
What is that, Gen X, I think?
I can't keep track of all these generation names.
Okay.
I don't even know what generation I'm in.
I think you're a baby boomer, aren't you?
I think I'm at the trail end of the baby boomers, and but I'm also, might call. Some people don't count this as a generation, but I do. It was called the Baby Busters because during the late 60s and 70s, people were not having very many kids.
Okay. Yeah, and then isn't that the Gen X generation?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I know I'm a millennial. I'm 81, so I know I'm like right at the very beginning of millennials. I'm like the oldest millennial there is.
So did they go by like
I'm old.
the time when you like reach adulthood?
No, they go by birthdays.
But if you were born in you just said 1980?
So 1981 is the very start of millennials, and then I think it's 1981 to... Oh, don't quote me on this. I'm thinking like 95, 96.
But when I think of the word millennial, I think of like the year 2000.
No, that's a different one. They're a different generation now.
I'm so confused. And frankly, I don't really care.
Okay, let's change the topic then. So let's see what else you guys are saying in here real quick. Hey, Dane, good to see you. Mr. Chad, so if you find credits in a machine, what are you supposed to do, technically? Generally, if it's less than possible, play it, or do you just leave it in the machine? I don't print tickets with 3 cents on there. So same thing as what we were talking about before. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, I think he's asking, what are you supposed to do morally and perhaps legally? And I think what you're supposed to do...
Is there an answer?
Yes. You're supposed to take the ticket and go right to any security officer.
Oh, no one's going to do that.
I would.
Have you ever done it?
No, because I'm not out there trolling for credits.
Have you ever found a machine that had credits in there, though? Did you leave it in there, or did you, like, print them out?
No. I know I've abandoned credits, I must say, but...
You have?
Yeah.
How much? Just a couple pennies?
Yeah, usually, like, if I'm testing a game, I'll throw in a 20, and I know it's happened at least once where I, think, oh, my research is done. I'm off.
So, then technically, what you left in the machine, it wouldn't be stealing.
I consider that whoever took it stole my money.
But why is it... Okay, we're going to get back into it.
Okay, but okay, here's what you're supposed to do. Like I just said, report it to security, and if no one claims that money, like within 90 days, then the casino will give it to you.
Yeah, right.
I think they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Do you want to make a bet?
No, I know that you're right when they said that they'll give it to you, but that doesn't mean they'll actually give it to you. They'll say that they'll give it to you, but nothing will ever happen. So remember,
I will make a bet that, pick any casino you want.
Hard Rock, when I found the chocolate chip, they said if someone comes and claims it, then that's claimed. If they don't claim it, after 30 days, we'll give it to you. They never gave it to me, and I know for a fact no one ever came and claimed it.
They were supposed to. But maybe as an employee, right? You were an employee, right?
Yeah, I was
an employee.
So
I think that as an employee, you were, like, acting as an agent of the Hard Rock, and anything that you did was really...
Then why would the Hard Rock tell me that if it wasn't claimed, I get it? Because they didn't
I think
even
that person
have to
was
tell
in
me.
error.
Well, yeah, they were a douche. Okay, so anyway, back to the comments.
No, but we could do an experiment on this. Where
really?
You abandon, say, like $1 on a machine.
Okay.
And then I come back, I will take the ticket, I will take it right to security, I will give them all the information, and I will bet you that in the 90 days they give me the $1.
I will totally make that bet with you.
Okay, which casino do you want to do it on?
Okay, so let's see. Do you want to do a strip casino or off-strip casino?
I think that for the audience, they might appreciate it if we did a strip casino, because that's what they're familiar with. Like, if we did it at Arizona Charlie's, most people will say, I've never heard of it. Who cares what they would do?
In that case, MGM or Caesar's Properties.
Okay, yeah, one of those.
Okay.
Okay, so the next time we're out that way, let's do that.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Okay.
And then we'll report to everybody what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
And you guys heard it here.
You guys heard it here, and we'll just bet honor, okay?
Okay. Pride dollar.
Oh, Pride dollar.
Yeah, Pride dollar.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, let's see what the audience is saying.
Okay, so next person says, let's see here. James agrees that El Cortez went too far. What do you think of the RTC buses? Andrew wants to know, what's your opinion on the RTC buses here?
I think they're pretty nice.
Yeah?
I've ridden them lots of times.
They've upgraded.
Yeah, I mean, they're well air conditioned. I think the leg space is pretty good.
Some of them have double deckers too.
Yeah. The Deuce, I tend to, like, lots of times it can get really packed, and it can just, like, take forever to stop for people to get in and out. In that case, I think they just simply need more of them, even though there's already so many.
Yeah.
But there's a bus that goes all the way from the Suncoast to the airport, which I've taken, and sometimes, like, if I'm doing car work, I will get on the Sahara bus and take that to somewhere where there's something to do.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I like them. I find them that they're pretty punctual, and yeah, I have no complaints.
So if you guys are
and they're
in
nice
town,
and modern, yeah,
and you need to use a bus, we have good buses.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, Scar says that it belongs to the casino, but it's bad law. Intergalactic Press says, my friend found a ticket left in the machine. She played it, and within minutes, security came and wanted their money back.
Yeah.
So
Did she give it to him?
I don't know. Let me know what you
I hope
what
she
happened,
did.
Jose. Because I sort of Jose's was kind of like split in half, so I think I read that right, Jose. But let me know what happened.
Okay, but let me tell you a similar story.
Okay.
Okay, so this was like long before I was the wizard.
Okay.
And I came to Vegas with a friend, and we were playing the full pay 10-7 double bonus at the Four Queens. And we were playing it video poker right next to each other, and my friend said, I'm going to go to the bathroom and watch my machine. And he left credits on it. And, I was so engrossed in my own game that I wasn't doing a good job policing his machine.
Okay.
And somebody came up and started playing it, and I didn't even notice it. And this was back in the days before ticket in, ticket out. And so he played one hand, lost, and then hit cash out. But then I hear the clanking of the coins hitting the hopper, and then I kind of woke up and I said, what are you doing? That's my friend's money.
Oh my God.
And he claimed that that he didn't notice it. And in fairness, he did put in a $5. He did put in, I think that he put in a $1 bill, but he made a $5 bet.
Okay.
Okay. So I was started to argue with him, and then my friend came back, and he was much more livid. Like,
Oh, I bet.
he started calling security, and they came over, and everyone like stated their version, and then they told the guy, that's not your money, give it back.
Oh.
And to which he did.
Okay.
And then he started saying, please don't 86 me, it's my birthday, I gave the money back. But they 86'd him anyway. I think that they were familiar with the guy as a credit whore, or whatever they call him.
I'm really looking forward to doing this with you.
But I totally applaud what the Four Queens did.
Yeah.
If I would do
You mean El Cortez?
No, well, it's a very similar story,
okay.
but yeah.
Got it.
I would do that every time if I ran a casino. I would not want thieves on my property.
I'm really looking forward to doing that with you. I really want to see what they do.
Okay.
I'm really curious.
All right.
Okay, and by the way, thank you, James, so much for the super chat. We gave Pip her treats. Thank you again very much for that super chat, and Pip does appreciate that as well. And Pip, move. I need to see the screen.
Did you ever show your snake on the show?
One time, but I didn't take her out or anything. She's gotten big. She's about 5 feet now.
Wow. Did you guys know Heather has a snake?
Yep, Shiva, ball python. I've had her for 16 years. And yeah. Yep.
You are so cool.
Thank you.
I just don't think you could get much cooler.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, my two friends who were girls didn't think it was very cool when my snake got loose, and then they saw it climbing like underneath the door of the laundry room into the kitchen. They didn't like that very much. It freaked them out a little bit. It freaked me out too because I didn't know that she had gone loose. And so I turned around, and the thickest part of her was going from under the door, underneath the cabinet, into my kitchen. And I ran over there. I dashed over there. I told you this, right? Did I tell you this?
I think you told me a story a long time ago.
Okay. Dashed over there. I tried to get it. She was too strong. I couldn't get her out, and she went underneath my cabinets, and I had to like pull apart my cabinets and like get her out. Yeah.
Yeah, this rings a bell. What kind of snake is it again?
Ball python.
Okay. Trivia.
Okay.
What's the largest kind of snake?
Boa constrictor.
Very good.
Thank you.
Ding, ding, ding.
Woo!
All right.
Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Rocky, awesome. Thank you very much for the super chat. We do appreciate it. So, $5 super chat. We have stories. Do you have any stories? Any stories about like what we were talking about? Ooh, I know. Do you have any cheating stories? We were talking about cheating the casino.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
No. So you've never been on a table and you've never witnessed cheating? We had
I can't say that I have.
We had a counterfeiter at my table one time. Counterfeit money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Oh, it was so horrible. Like, it was cropped really badly. The green looked weird. It felt really weird, you know. So as soon as I saw it, I didn't put it in the drop box. I put it to the side, and the floorman came over and took a look at it, realized it was fake. He took it to the shift manager, who double checked it, and they come back, and the guy's still playing on the table, and my shift manager, really loud, she says to him, "This is definitely counterfeit money." And he gets freaked out, and he picks up all of his roulette chips, and you know roulette chips aren't worth jack shit. He picks up all of his roulette chips and try to leave the table. And I'm like, "Sir, what are you doing? You can't, you know, walk away with the roulette chips. They're worthless. What are you doing?" So I had him like color in, and I was so slow. Like, I slowly brought the chips in, I slowly counted them, slowly colored them up, finally gave him his money. He ran, like he took the money and dashed, and by then security was already like behind him ready and waiting. So when he turned around and dashed, they were like right there, and they got him. And they took him in, and they arrested him for counterfeit money.
Good.
Yep, and I had one of the MIT guys on my table too. Did I tell you that?
Nope.
No? Real quick.
What was he doing?
He was card counting.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's cheating.
No, but I mean, they weren't happy about it. So it was on a 6-deck shoe. He was the only guy on the table. He wasn't even trying to hide it or anything. You know, 500 one hand, 25 the next hand, 1,000 the next hand. Huge spread. My floorman came over, and he's like, "I'm shuffling the deck." He's like, "Cut the deck in half." I'm like, "What do you mean cut the deck in half?" Because I didn't know. So I cut the deck in half. We're sitting there. We're playing. Two security guards come up. 2 Metro police officers are following them. The guy doesn't say anything. Nobody says a word. And the guy stands up, puts his hands behind his back. They handcuff him, take his money, go to the cage, cash him out, and then take him out. You know? And I asked my floorman, like, what the heck just happened? And he's like, "Oh, that's one of the MIT guys," and they said his name. And they said that because he's so well known, he's in our system for facial recognition. So as soon as he came in, we recognized him. We called the cops, and as soon as the cops came in, they arrested him for trespassing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Story time. Okay. So let's see what else everyone is saying. Everyone's saying hi to Pip. Awesome. Okay,
I think someone at this table has bad breath, by the way.
Oh, okay, good. Well, you never know. I mean, you know. Okay, so let's see what else everyone is saying. Mr. Chad, I saw someone leave a ticket for about $80. I stopped her and gave her the ticket. Not sure how many people would do that in a casino. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people actually are more honest than you think. Maybe it's just me and it's Las Vegas. I don't think too many people are honest, but there's more honest people out there than I think. I would be on a blackjack table. I would make a mistake. I would pay someone when I wasn't supposed to. And more people than not would tell me, "Oh, you made a mistake. That's not my money. You should have taken the money, not paid it." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're actually honest? Holy cow. Okay, thanks. I'll take your money."
Well, I applaud that person.
That is really cool, but not a lot of people would do that.
Yeah.
Especially here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone would be like, "Yeah, of course, that's mine." Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation lots of times, and if I get overpaid, I just don't say anything, but I leave the money on the table.
That's smart.
And I think that the dealer will think, "Oh, well, he usually just grabs his money right away." And then she'll check it and say, "Oh, yeah, I paid it wrong."
That's smart.
So that way I'm hopefully not getting her in trouble for making a mistake.
Well, that's really smart, too, because when they do figure it out, your money's already up there. You didn't put it in with the rest of your money.
Yeah.
You know exactly what to do. Yeah, that's a really good way of handling it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So let's see if anyone else has any more questions in chat. And then I think we had a couple more questions we were going to ask you, right?
I can have some more New York stories.
Ooh,
or
really?
New York travel tips.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if anyone else has another question real fast. So John says, "I was told that when playing fire bet at 5 points and the 5 point hits, And when is going for the sixth and final point, it would be ideal to lay the last point for a heavy amount to close the margin to guarantee a higher pay. Is that accurate?
Well, one of the 10 commandments in my book is thou shalt not hedge thy bets.
And that's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, if this is a life-changing amount of money to you, I'm not going to shake my finger at you if you do it. But
people shouldn't be playing with their mortgage.
Yeah, I agree. But they might say, look, the fire bet only cost me $5. I didn't need that $5 for my mortgage. But if I hit the fire bet, what does that pay, $5,000?
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, if you could lock in, say, $2,000 rather than have a chance at $5,000, if that's what someone wants to do, if that's a lot of money to them, I'm not going to give them the big lecture. But as a generality, I'm not big on hedging your bets. That's why I say don't take insurance in blackjack, things like that.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I recommend not hedging.
Okay. So now let's go to New York. What are some other things you wanted to talk about?
Okay. So, okay. Are you old enough to remember TWA?
What is that, a union?
No, it's an airline.
Oh, no, I think I'm not old enough for that.
Okay. So TWA used to be just an enormous American airline, probably one of the biggest companies in America.
Wow. Okay.
And this was in the 60s when flying was still very glamorous and expensive. But yeah, TWA was probably the biggest airline. Maybe it was American Airlines, I don't know. But anyway, and not only did they have hundreds and hundreds of planes, but they also had their own hotel at JFK Airport, and it was a really nice hotel, and it was built in 1962, but it was themed kind of like the future, and there's no straight lines, everything is curvy, and there's a lot of red, and like a lot of the chairs are kind of like these eggs that you sit in, and but the only vestige of the company that remains is this hotel. And it's still called the TWA Hotel, and everything they kept like 1962. Like the library has books that were written at that time, and they like have a payphone that, by the way, is free, and that looked like a 1962 payphone.
Wow.
And they have flight attendants and pilots walking around in like period outfits.
Oh my God, that's
and then there's
funny.
kind of like a museum of TWA stuff during the whole lifetime of the airline, and they have also like an old TWA plane that they converted into a lounge that you can go in and have drinks, and they have one of those great big, I forgot the term for it, but one of those things with the flapping letters that shows where all the planes are going to and the times. And so that was just super cool. It's in, I think it's in Terminal 5, whichever one JetBlue uses. So your next time flying out of JFK, I would recommend getting to the airport 2 hours earlier than you would normally do. Okay. And head over to the airport. And it, like I said, it is super cool.
That sounds pretty neat.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And then was that your first time doing that?
Yes.
First time seeing it?
Yes. I think I had heard about it before, but so many New York trips, there's so much to do there that that I just like try to pack so much in, and then I get to the airport and I don't have the time to go there. But this time I had a lot more free time and could control my destiny more. Cool. So yeah, I'm really glad I did it.
That sounds awesome. Now we are going to see pictures on your social media, right?
I did post one already. Okay. Good. With 2 flight attendants dressed in like.
Oh, that was that?
Yeah, that was that.
Cool. Okay.
And they were really friendly, and they also have all these posters like places where TWA flew and kind of like that so 60s art. Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Super cool.
I love that.
Okay.
Cool. Do you want to do another New York one, or you want to see what they're saying?
Let's see what they're saying on the chat.
Okay. Oh, cool. We got another super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. Any story of a high roller dropping a big tip for one dealer and then the dealer had to share that with other dealers. And this is from John G.
Isn't that the way it always is?
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah. So yes, we do get a lot of tips from the high limit area. That's where a good portion of our tips come from as a dealer. The thing is, with Las Vegas casinos, we pool our tips, so we don't keep our own. Mm-hmm. So all of the tips are gathered in a 24-hour period and then split equally among all of the dealers from all 3 shifts. Mm-hmm. So if we have a George in the hotel, and a George is another name for someone who tips the dealers really, really big, he will more than likely be in high limit. He will be tipping the dealer in high limit, say, 5,000, 10,000 hand, depending on how much he's playing. The dealer in high limit does not get to keep that. It's pooled all together and then split equally among all the dealers, and that's a very normal thing here. The most money I was ever tipped as a dealer was in the high limit room at the Rio, and it was a 21-year-old kid who was playing with his father's money. 15,000 a hand, and he was betting about 5,000 for me. So I was getting a 5,000 tip every single hand, and then if he doubled or split, it would go up to 10,000. And that would be about the most money I ever made in high limit as far as tips go. But it's amazing how many young kids play with their dad's money, and I don't know, as a dealer, I sort of wanted to strangle them. Just saying.
What parents let their kids bet?
Rich people.
I would say that's not like teaching the kid the value of money.
Well, if you're rich, you don't have to. He's set for life. He doesn't ever have to worry about it. Why does he have to learn? Why does he have to be taught money if he never has to worry about it?
Well, to each their own.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But what do you think? Do we see a lot of rich people here in Las Vegas? Yeah.
Well, I don't generally play in the high limit rooms, so...
But we do have a lot of rich people come
here. Oh, yeah,
here.
sure.
And it's always fun to hear the stories about how, celebrities or famous people were here and then they made a fool of themselves. Like Paris Hilton.
What did she do?
I never told you that story.
Maybe start on it.
Hard Rock. Okay, so I was working at the Hard Rock. It was a graveyard. I'm going on break. Paris Hilton is there for her sister's 21st birthday party. She's right in front of me. She is drunk as a skunk. She trips and falls flat over. Falls flat on her face. Skirt goes over her head. She has no underwear on at all,
yes.
and she is so drunk she can't get herself back up. So I'm watching, and she's on the ground, and she's yelling and screaming and throwing her arms around and making this big old fuss and everything. Huge crowd gathers. Nobody is helping her. Her security guards are just standing there watching her. And finally, a cocktail waitress comes over and helps her up. Don't touch me. You just want to touch a celebrity. Get away from me. How dare you? And then she stumbles away, and I look over at one of the security guards, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? And he's like, that's why we're not allowed to touch her, talk to her, look at her, nothing. We're just here to make sure nobody hurts her. If she falls, she has to get back up on her own. Last time she falled, one of our co-workers helped her up, and he got fired because he touched her. Like, yeah, seriously. Like, that is...
She should be thanking the person who tried to help.
Right?
Yes.
But no, you can't touch her. You just want to touch a celebrity. Oh, don't forget that.
No comment.
But you see that here in Las Vegas, like just craziness.
But did anyone get a good picture while she was on the floor?
I wish. Okay, so this
TMZ
was
would have paid a lot of money for that.
I know, right? This was in 2005, 2005. So we still hadn't gone the whole, everyone's phone had a camera on it just yet.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a picture. But although it is engraved in my mind, I don't think I'll ever forget it. Just saying. But we don't have a picture of it.
It would be engraved in my mind too.
Yeah, you can't forget that. Okay, so moving on.
Yes.
Let's see here. They had a TV show based on that called Pan Am. Have you seen that?
No.
Pan Am. It's a TV show based on the
Yeah, Pan Am Airlines, Pan American.
Yep.
Yeah, that was another big one. Nope, never seen it.
Cool. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, a couple people were saying Pam Ann. Pam Ann.
Pan
Pam
Am.
Ann. I feel like I'm trying to say Peter Pan, but I'm screwing it up.
Yeah, and there was also
Pan Am.
Eastern Airlines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
do
when
you-
I was a kid, they had lots of commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. You don't see. Well, I mean, I guess you do see airline commercials. Okay.
Not very often, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we have about 15 minutes left, and then after this, we are going to be going over to Mike's channel, The Odds Must Be Crazy, to do a live stream on his channel. If you get a chance, please join us at 3 p.m. We got 1 or 2 more questions that we're going to respond to, and then we're going to stop the live stream for today. So if you have a question, please ask it. Now, I think a lot of people are saying comments and that type of thing on here. I'm looking for questions. Here's one. So Grandopolis says, hey, my family does not want me to be a dealer because they feel like I will be around bad people dealing all the time, but I really want to give dealing a try. How can I approach becoming a dealer while talking to my family? So a great way to do this. First off, I know casinos have a bad rep. I know technically we're in a taboo type of a industry.
Mm-hmm.
But with all of the casinos popping up all around America, can people really consider it taboo anymore?
Yeah, I don't think it's as sinful as it used to seem.
And the thing is being a casino dealer, you don't need to go to college, you don't need to get a degree, and yet you can learn how to deal this trade and make $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 a year, good money doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why people would be upset with it. You could do a lot worse and be, working over at McDonald's, making nothing. At least you're in a good industry, you're making good money, you have good hours. If you need to get out of the hours, you can always take an early out or switch with the dealer. They're pretty relaxed about it. And honestly, I think this is a really great industry to get into, especially if you're not using your degree. A lot of people, they pay for a degree, they can't use their degree, they become dealers, and then they have all this set that they have to pay from school. Why not just be a dealer and have the money to spend on vacations and doing fun stuff? I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, email me at heather@vegas-aces.com, and I will try to work with you one-on-one on that. We will help you. We will try to figure out a way of breaking the ice easily for your family. Let me know. Okay, let's see if we have any questions that both of us can answer. Let's see.
I have a couple other New York travel tips if there's nothing there.
I don't see anything. I think we're good on story. I think we're good. If you guys have a question and I missed your question, write it real quick because I don't see any other questions. So please let me know. What's your New York story?
Okay, so when I go to New York, I always want to see a Broadway play. This time I saw 2 of them.
Oh, cool.
But one of them, there was like a screw up with the tickets, and they basically didn't have my tickets. I won't go into that story because it's just really boring. But I asked, like the like someone with the theater, like I said, do you have any standby tickets? No. Well, are there any good shows around here you recommend? And he recommended what I thought he said was 80s Town, and he said, yeah, it's just one street over. And we go there, and but it was really Hades Town, as in the devil, like where you go if you're bad after you die.
Oh.
And so so I go there and I asked, do you have any standby tickets? And she said, no, we're all sold out. But somebody overheard that, and they said, oh, are you looking for tickets? So, yeah, we need 2. And she said, I was supposed to see this with my sister, but she's sick. Here you go.
Oh, that's so
and
neat.
The Broadway tickets are like $200 each, and this was a hot show.
Oh, wow.
So it gives things like that give me like faith that there's good people out there.
That's really neat.
So anyway, I went in there not even knowing anything about it, what it's about, but it's from Greek mythology, where people can like travel to hell and back, and
in
so
the boat?
Well, in this, yeah, on the river Styx, they don't measure. they barely mention the river in this play, but instead you get there on a train.
Oh, okay.
But this train has lots of jazz music and dancing, and it's also fun. And but anyway, it's a story of someone who goes from I guess Earth to like a very depressed place to hell. But she leaves her boyfriend behind, and he's really heartbroken. So he has to go to hell and try to rescue her and get her back to Earth. So it's all about that quest.
Is it based on the mythology where he's bringing her back and he tells her not to look back?
Yes.
And she does anyway?
Well, now you just ruined the ending.
Oh, sorry. But it's not really ruining the ending. It's mythology. It's a mythology story. It's based off of a mythology story.
But what if people in the audience didn't know the ending of that myth?
Dude, that story is 5,000 years old. That is not a spoiler right there. That's 5,000 years old. If you don't know the ending, then I'm just saying. That's
okay.
like saying, oh, spoiler alert for The Matrix in the 90s. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen The Matrix, it's not a spoiler alert. It's been too late. Too many years.
Okay, so 5,000 years and you're allowed to blurt out the ending.
Well, I mean, if you want to do it that way, we could talk about Sixth Sense. The ending to Sixth Sense.
No, do not tell the audience the ending to that, because that is a great movie.
You know, that movie was ruined for me because the radio station I was listening to, they blurted out the ending. The movie was still in the theaters. And they blurted out the ending.
That's awful.
It is. But you know what was cool is they gave away free tickets to anyone who heard that. So I went over and I told them that I heard it, and I got free tickets, and I took my sister and we got to go see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I highly recommend it. Hadestown. You can go on YouTube and see some of it if you want to feel the water a little bit.
Okay.
But it is based exactly on that story.
Okay.
And finally, what was the last thing? Yeah, this time I stayed in Queens, and in between Queens and Manhattan is Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And like I said, before this trip, I didn't really have much experience out of Manhattan, but this trip, I wanted to kind of experience Brooklyn a little bit more. So I went to a park called Williamsburg, which I heard is like a really energetic, youthful part of New York where like a lot of music comes out of. So we went there and we had a great Japanese dinner, and the whole neighborhood was, I thought, really energetic. And you didn't see things like Starbucks and 7-Elevens. Everything seemed to be just an independent business, and it was just very clean, and it borders the East River, so you have a beautiful view of the Brooklyn Bridge in Manhattan. So if you want to get away from all the touristy stuff and the throngs of crowds in Manhattan, go over to Williamsburg, and I think that you'll find it a refreshing change.
Fantastic. Awesome.
So there's my New York travel tips.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And people could join us on your channel to hear more about New York, right? The odds must be crazy.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of my show, I come prepared with 5 pages of questions submitted by people from Latest Casino Bonuses.
Okay. Okay.
So we won't need to repeat those stories on my channel.
Awesome. So if you guys get a chance, if you want to follow us over, please join us. The odds must be crazy. We are going to be starting that here in 6 minutes at 3 p.m. So we do have to get going. Real quick before we end, next Monday's live stream is up in the air. So I am trying to get access to the UNLV Gaming Lab. I have someone that I'm working with, and we are going to be doing a live stream where I shadow this dealer and help him out, and we'll broadcast that to you. We're going to try to get that done on Monday. If we can't get that done on Monday, we're going to try to do it the following week, but right now it's up in the air. If we cannot get this done on Monday, then I am giving myself a vacation, and I am taking a week off for Christmas. So we will not have a live stream on Monday and Thursday. If I can't get that thing going with the UNLV lab, then I'm going to cancel on Monday, cancel on Thursday, give myself a week off, because I sort of need a week off sometimes. So we will be back on Monday the 30th. It looks like Monday the 30th is when we'll be back. So let me know if you guys have any questions. If you want to contact me, Heather at vegas-aces.com. Real quick, Okay, good. So everybody else is cool. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. And we hope to see you in 4 minutes over at the Odds Must Be Crazy. So please join us.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Merry Christmas,
Festivus.
Happy holidays.
May you have a blessed Kwanzaa. What am I forgetting?
I think we got everything.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Bye, Heather's audience.
See you later. Bye.